Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Lauro Herrera, and today is March 27th, 2020, on this beautiful Friday morning here in Northern California. And as promised, for all of you here on YouTube, our existing agents across the nation, as well as everybody that watches us on Facebook, we have a very special guest um, that's going to join us here today, and I'm really excited to have Bill Levinson, to speak to us today so he can share with us more of the vision. And with that said, Bill, thank you so much, man, for taking your time to, talk to us. I know for a fact you're a really, really busy dude, and I truly appreciate you taking out this moment to talk to our group. So thank you once again. And I had a series of questions for you
hmm
that I wanted to just kind of focus on for our group. And Bill, the first question is, for everybody that doesn't know you, that's listening to you for the first time, can you share with everybody, your background and how you got into the insurance business?
Yeah, no problem. First of all, thank you for having me, number one. And I just want to say to all of the agents listening, thank you for taking the time. You're with a great organization with Lauro, and he has your best interest at heart. In fact, that's how this whole thing came about, was he wanted to provide the best tools and technology for you all. So you're at the right place.
Amen, man. And
Yep.
I want to
Well,
add something in there. I've been wanting to do this since late 2015. Think about this. Since 2015, I wanted this partnership with you guys. But at the time, we couldn't do it because, you know, the people that introduced me to you guys, I had to let some time go, right? Before I could even entertain this. So we've been waiting patiently, bro. So please share with us, my friend. We're
yep,
we're
yep.
eager to hear.
Yeah, no. So that's great news. So yeah, we're on complete opposite side of the country. Number one, but yeah, everything worked out for the best. And yeah, I'll take you way back just so you can understand where I come from and how this organization became a national IMO with over 18,000 agencies from Key West to Hawaii, literally.
Wow.
And so basically, I just turned 44, and my father, Kerry Levinson, started the organization in 1972, and I started when I was about 21 years old, so more than half my life.
Wow.
And what happened, the long story short is when I came into the business, it was a very old school, yellow legal pad and rate book and briefcase approach.
Hmm.
No one had
Right.
laptops or iPads or tablets or anything. And I learned the business from the ground up. And basically, what I was realizing is there's a lot at that time. There was a lot of older agents, more veteran type agents, and we weren't seeing like the younger generation coming into the business. It was just very old school. Most of the big IMOs had like one or two carriers back then, and everything was done, literally with a pen and a rate book and an application, a physical application that was 40 pages long. And as I started to learn the industry, and I would go throughout all these industry meetings across the country, I would scratch my head and I was saying to myself, why are the other parts of the industry, like health insurance, for example, and property and casualty insurance, why are they so far ahead of the life insurance side? And, every day I kept going through our day-to-day practice and recruiting and servicing and trying to find, what's best for our agencies. And as time went on, I started to say to myself, why can't we incorporate some of the technology from the health and P&C world, but into the life insurance world? So I started to team up with big technology vendors like iPipeline and through like Nalba and NAFA and Lidma. And, we were just known as a small shop in South Florida, so I really didn't have much pull back then. And little by little, I teamed up with two big companies. One iPipeline, one is Amplify, who now was just acquired by iPipeline. But the point of the story is we teamed up with them, and I would sit on these boards at these big industry meetings, and we were basically preaching to the audience. The audience was made up of carriers and compliance departments, and we were saying how important it is to have, an e-application and a drop ticket, if you want to be successful moving into the future. This was 10, 15 years ago at this point. So the carriers looked at us like we had three heads. They said we were crazy. There's no way that will ever happen. Yeah, they said you have to be. Yep, it's crazy.
Oh, man.
Yep, they said you have to be face-to-face with a client and fill out an application with a pen and paper, and that's the way that we do business because you're considered like a field underwriter for us. And me and Bill Atlee, he's the founder of iPipeline, and a few other guys, we would sit there and say to the carriers, we said, you guys are out of your mind. Like, if you want to grow in the future, we have to start making a shift. And at that meeting, I'll never forget it, in South Florida at the Diplomat Hotel, they literally looked at us like we were nuts. And then fast forward, a year after year, so at this point, like 2-3 years after, we started to see a shift. And it would start with one company, and then two companies, and then five companies. And then fast forward to today, we have agencies, and agents call us from all over the country, and they say, I don't even care about the carrier. I just care if the carrier has an e-application or a drop ticket so I could sell over the phone. So to see that shift, over the years is mind-boggling to me. And we were way ahead of the curve with this. And now you fast forward to today, not only are we known as one of the largest IMOs, but we're also known as the most tech-savvy IMO, and we became a big player now, almost 20,000 agents in every city in the U.S. And the point is, we saw this coming years and years ago. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but
let me stop you there.
Yeah, of course.
It reminds me what your dad told me right now, what you're saying. He said, don't chase agents to work for you. Provide value and great services, and they will come to your agency. Jeez,
and
man.
Little by little, that's exactly what happened. It's that value add platform.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a crazy story, and along with that story, it comes that Insure Me Now Direct platform, which you all have access to through Lauro. Forward now to the way that idea came up, because it was very similar to the whole e-app and drop ticket approach, which was 10, 15 years ago now. So then what happened? So now all of a sudden we weren't just a small mom and pop shop anymore. We were known as kind of a big deal in the brokerage world and for insurance. And what happened is about 6-7 years ago, I had another crazy idea, which came to fruition. And I said, wouldn't it be great, right? You think about Amazon, right, and what they've done to the retail space. Why? So now at this point, we already had e-apps and drop tickets, and the carriers were starting to see this new world little by little. And I said, well, wouldn't it? But not for us to go direct to consumer, because that goes against everything we stand for. We do not do that. It's a conflict of interest. But why can't we build a platform to allow the agencies to go direct to consumer? Okay, so think about like Select Quote, think about Policy Genius, Ladder Life, Ethos Life. These are all huge direct to consumer companies where they're basically doing away with the agent. They're going straight through you and they're going directly to the consumer, which I don't believe in.
Me neither.
So I said, exactly. And I'm going to tell you why I don't believe in it. The reason why, number one, first of all, they have basically call center reps that don't even know our business, that are talking to the client, number one. Number two, they have one carrier and one product for everybody, which you're not doing the client justice.
Absolutely. Yeah, they have no options. You can't help them at the underwriting table and providing them the best options. I'm with you on that, man. 100%.
So it's not like, we're just like bashing the competition, because I'm not doing that. I'm just talking about from a value aspect to provide for, let's say, a carrier to a consumer. They're not doing the consumer justice. And it reminds me of, like, think back years ago, these captive agents that worked for, MetLife or New York Life or Mass Mutual that were 100% captive. Okay, when I first started, that was the majority of the life insurance industry was sold from career shops or captive agents. The problem was, and still is, how can one carrier be the one-stop shop for a consumer? It can't. There's not one carrier that's perfect for everybody out there in America. It just
That's so
doesn't
true,
exist.
bro. That's so
Yeah,
true. I spent over 10 years being captive for one group or another. And after 10 years, I realized exactly what you said. I
yeah,
said to
yeah.
myself, if I want to help my clients, I got to be able to represent the best companies and be able to represent the best rates for the health that my clients put in front of me. And
That's
you're so
exactly right.
right, man. That is our
Yeah,
responsibility to
that's right.
provide them value in that sense.
And
Wow.
options.
Yeah. Wow.
Right, right. Because imagine that career agent that can sell just one company, right? They usually had like two or three or four products. So they're going to go see that client and drive to, Starbucks or McDonald's or whatever. They're going to put, no matter what the client is or age or health, they're going to push their products that they're going to make a commission on. They're not going to talk about a carrier they're not going to make a commission on. So that,
Right.
so
Right.
so when I first started, if you looked at life insurance policies sold in the U.S., it was like an 80-20 split. It was 80% from career or captive agents, and then about 20% from the brokerage side. Today, it's just the opposite. Okay,
Really?
so the majority, oh yeah, the majority of life insurance sold today is from the brokerage side, compared to like 10 to 20% on the career side.
Wow.
So, oh yeah, yep. Those are facts. So, in a lot of those career type companies, I'll give you an example, like Prudential and MetLife's not even around anymore. They're owned by Bright House. But the bottom line is, most of those career captive shops aren't around anymore, or they opened up to brokerage. So that just goes to show you.
Amazing.
Um, yeah. So anyway, getting back to my point though, so, we have these direct to consumer organizations, mainly out of like Silicon Valley, and they're going direct to consumer with one carrier, one product. So I said to myself, why can't we build a platform for the agents to go to direct to consumer, but not have one carrier and one product? Wouldn't that be great if we can have multiple carriers and products that the agents can sell direct to consumer or drive traffic to their website or to their social media pages or to their existing book of business, right?
Hmm.
So here, this was the challenge. So 5, 6 years ago, I had this great idea. The problem is there wasn't any life insurance companies that were willing to sell a product direct to consumer without any agent involvement. They thought, again, they looked at me like I had three heads, and they said, never going to happen. So
Wow.
I said, well, we dealt with the same thing 10, 15 years ago with e-apps and drop tickets, and look what happened. So anyway, long story short, I literally travel, because today we have over 70 companies that we have direct contracts with. And I said, let me go visit these companies and basically pitch my idea and see if anybody will buy in. Well, one carrier bought into the idea, and that was Fidelity Security Life, and they gave us our own product called Lightning Term. And so we started with one carrier and one product, okay, which obviously goes against, what I'm trying to do by supplying multiple carriers and products,
Hmm.
but it didn't matter. I needed to start somewhere.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yep. So we started with just one carrier, one product, and that was about 5, 6 years ago. And then I said to myself, well, if we can have one carrier buy into this, there's definitely going to be two, and then three, and then four, and then five. So fast forward to today, we now have 5 carriers with over 12 products on this agent direct to consumer platform.
Yeah, it's
So
amazing. It's amazing.
it is.
You
It,
know,
it's a,
um,
yep. Yep.
when I hear you talk, man, it's very inspiring because, I've been pushing technology for a long time, 10 years, and I've been thinking in the same manner. Why not? Why can't we sell the final expense over the phone? Why can't we use technology like an e-app? Why can't we do this? Why? Because much like you, I started when I was 25 in this business, and it was just like what you said, man. I had no GPS. I had the little Thomasville road maps, old school, man, the yellow pad, and here we are today. My question to you, Bill, is this: why do you feel people have pushed against this so much? Why? That, like you said, they saw you as a three-headed beast, right? Why?
Right.
Why do you think
Right.
that? Why do you think people have done that? Why haven't they been so, do you think it's because of the age bracket of the agents, maybe? Or what do you think it is?
I think I think people get very set in their ways. That people get scared of change. From the carrier's perspective, their reinsurance companies didn't like the fact that there wasn't an agent on the front line, like actually seeing the client face to face or on a phone call. They weren't
Mhm.
comfortable with that. From an agent's perspective, I think that a lot of agents get set in their ways, and they're scared to change. Um, from the consumer's perspective, I think that the younger generation, the millennials, this is the way they want to do business. I think
Absolutely.
some of the older clients, okay, and no disrespect, I think that they get a little bit nervous sharing some personal information online, but I think every day that's changing. I mean, think about my grandma who's 92 loves
Hmm.
Amazon. I mean, she goes on
Yeah,
there every day. Well,
yeah.
what's the difference with Amazon or going now to buy a life insurance policy online? There's really no
None.
difference.
There's none. There's
So,
absolutely none.
yeah, people are changing. People
Absolutely.
are changing now, and look at what's happening with timing. Now we're in this epidemic with coronavirus where people aren't going to have much of a choice now then to change because
Oh,
most people,
exactly.
yeah, they don't want to see an agent in their house on a Wednesday night at 8 o'clock p.m. As they're
Right.
trying to get the kids ready for bed. It's not going to happen.
Well, like I was telling you earlier, we started rolling out, our platform, Insure Me Now, direct to all of our clients. Our demographic is people over 50, but our clients, we have thousands of clients on the books paying a final expense policy. They're rich in referrals,
Oh yeah,
and they're giving us phone numbers, they're giving us names, and it's just amazing to be able to send them the link, and people are able to just navigate through that. And we feel it just like you, man, it is the way of the future. And that's why I'm excited that we're here with you, because for us it's like we're putting our foot in the door. You're taking the lead on this, and we're putting our foot in the door because we know this is where it's headed, man. And I know in 5 years from now, it's going to be unrecognizable. I think Elon Musk, I saw an interview from him a while back, and he says that any progress in technology, even if it's a small percentage, the growth in the future is so exponential you can't even measure it. So everything that you're doing, that you've done, think of where it's at today, and in 5 years from now, I think it's going to be unrecognizable. You'll probably be on the front cover of Forbes, bro. I'm going to put it out there. You're going to be on the
yeah.
front cover of Forbes. There's going to be Bill right there.
Hey, we
Awesome,
were on the
bro.
front cover of Insurance Newsnet, so
That's
we're not
good
far
too.
away.
Yeah, that's good. So,
That's true.
bro,
Yeah,
with everybody at home right now, right? And you got a lot of agents stuck. They're panicking. You've been doing this at the highest level, man, for all of your career. What words of encouragement can you give that agent that's listening right now, that's struggling, he's down? What words can you give them of encouragement, man? Because this industry is beautiful. It's wonderful. What can you
especially at a
share?
time. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, no problem. Especially at a time like this. Obviously, this is a horrible, horrible, challenging time for the country. There's no spinning that differently, right? We know what's going on, but think about, and I'll just share a few things of what I'm seeing. So we have, like I said, almost 20,000 agents, agencies, financial institutions all over the country. Okay, now I'll just share what's going on here, and I'm going to just tell you like it is, good, bad, and different. So we're also a business, and we have to make sure our bottom line is always met, right? I mean, it's
Right.
very simple to understand. Here's what we're seeing. So we have more life insurance quote requests coming in than ever before. Number one.
Wow.
Okay, we're marketing the platform on Insure Me Now Direct on Facebook to agents, agencies, and we're getting 14 to, on the average, 14 to 25 new requests daily from Facebook for the last 2 weeks. Daily,
Wow.
even on Saturdays and Sundays. Yeah,
Wow.
and all it is a picture that says sell direct to consumer, 100% no cost. It's very simple. It's not like some crazy ad we put together. So we're getting more leads for. When I say leads, I mean an agent or
Agent. Yeah.
agency lead.
Agent recruits.
Exactly. Then we're getting more than ever before, more quote requests than ever before. And I think what's happening is there's a lot of families that are stuck home right now, and they have two small kids, and let's say the breadwinner, they're all looking at the father or the mother, depends on the situation, saying, hey, if something happens to you, are we protected? And in most cases the answer is no.
Right.
Well, did you ever think about getting a life insurance quote? And they're saying, no, I didn't, but let me go find out how much the insurance is. So I think that's what's happening right now. People are getting scared. I think it's a great time for agents, because even if you're staying at home right now, you can
Mhm.
still conduct business just as if you were hitting the road seeing 20 people a day, because you can see the same 20 people a day just through, go to webinar, Zoom, go to meeting, even through a conference call, or
Right.
whatever the case. It's very simple nowadays. And I think that it's time for you all to get creative. It's time for you to pick up the phone and do things that you've never done before. This is time, I call it scrappy, getting scrappy.
Yeah.
And you have to dive in and do whatever it takes. You scrape the bottom, call existing clients. Do you know anyone I can call? Any referrals? Now is the time. And with a platform like this, there's no excuse to not jump in. And I'm gonna
Exactly.
share a couple ideas around it.
Hmm.
Yeah, and you have to remember, so we're, like I said, a national IMO with over 70 companies. Our agents and agencies across the country, some always work out of their third bedroom at home, even when,
Hmm.
pre-corona, okay?
Hmm.
And then we have some that live week to week. We have others. I have my biggest agent, lives in Greenwich, Connecticut. His neighbor is Judge Judy, and, this guy makes 10 times what I make on an annual basis.
Wow.
So yeah, but my point is, our agents are spread out all over as far as demographics.
Right.
Okay, so I'm seeing all sides of it from A to Z. So on the large side, we just saw our biggest premium case in history. Target premium, $570,000 of annual premium. It came in last week. I don't know
Wow.
if it had, yeah, I don't know if it had to do with Corona or not, but it came in. So whatever it is, it's here. And then on the other side, we're seeing more, like I said, more quote requests coming in than ever. So I think the opportunity is out there. I think it's just up to you all to make it happen and get creative.
Yeah.
There's so many opportunities with YouTube and Facebook, and creating your own video like what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Talk about the platform and how easy it is now to buy a policy. Get it out
Like,
there. It
right. Whatever it
Yeah,
takes, man. That's it. And that's the facts. You got to work
yeah.
harder. You got to get up earlier, and you got to think outside the box. And you got to do the stuff that makes you uncomfortable. Do it, because
Now's the time.
that's the only way it's going to work. And that's
Yeah, that's
definitely
right.
great advice, bro. And coming from you, it's definitely inspiring, man, because you guys have had nothing but success, and congratulations once again, man, because
Yeah, no, no, no.
it's inspiring for us to see the level that you guys have reached, and it motivates us because anything's possible, man. Anything's
That's right.
possible, and you have definitely proved that. Well,
Well,
Bill,
thank you.
man, I thank you once again. I appreciate for your time, and I know all of our people here feel the same way, and we
Well, let
look
me close
forward.
with one,
Yes, sir.
one last thing, if I have just another minute.
Yeah.
I just want to explain to everyone that when you see the platform, Insure Me Now Direct, a lot of people just say, oh, yeah, I can drive traffic to my website, and someone they'll run a quote and then apply online. I just want you to explain. There's some banks right now, in fact, in Kentucky, that are using the platform. What the banker's doing is closing a loan, and then they're turning the computer screen around and saying, all right, here's a term policy now. Here's the quote. You just click apply now, and you're going to make us the beneficiary because we're giving you the loan. So my point is, if you're face-to-face, you can use this on a laptop. If you're selling over the phone, you can email the link to your site.
Yeah.
If you want to just use Facebook or your website and you want to drive traffic through that, great. But the point is, there's all different arrows coming to the same exact place. So
Yeah.
it's up to you to get creative. And as far as the products, you got guaranteed issue life, grow up plan with Gerber, term to 500,000, guaranteed issue critical illness, disability, accident, all these supplemental products, they're all on the platform. So it's up to you now. And I think that if you're going to make an excuse to say Corona this or that, that's on you. But there are agents out there right now that are crushing it, even
Yep.
during this time. So there's no
And
reason
that's
why you can't be a part
exactly.
of it.
And
Yep.
that's a fact. That's a fact. And
Yep.
Bill, what would be the best number if anybody listening here wants to set up a platform, Insure Me Now Direct platform? What would be the best phone number for them to contact your office? What would that be? Do you have a phone number or a
Yeah.
website?
Yep. Yeah. Just go 800-375-2279, or just let Lauro know and you can make the introduction. A great training place is the Bill Levinson Experience podcast, because we interview a bunch of agents there. You can check that out.
Yeah, we're gonna
Social
add
media,
we're
of
gonna
course.
add your YouTube channel to this too, so they
Perfect.
can go there.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah. And Lauro knows all the ins and outs too, so I would start with him as well.
Awesome, bro. Well, Bill,
Yep.
once again, my friend, thank you. We appreciate this more than you can imagine, and we're looking forward to doing something special with you and your organization. Okay. So you have
Anytime.
a
Thank you.
great Friday, man. Stay safe,
Yep.
and we will chat later, brother.
You too. Thank you, Orlando and Lauro, and all the agents out there. Take care. Thanks again.
Bye-bye.
If you do not have a personal website as an insurance agent in 2019,
done.
you're in a little bit. Listen, you're driving a horse around town then.
Yeah.
Like, that's ludicrous.
And it's a matter of time.
And I know there's people. Listen, let me just say this one more time. Do you know how big of a company Blockbuster, Toys R Us, Sears, Woolworths, JCPenney's were?
Yeah, it's huge.
You're 57 years old. You're the king and queen of word of mouth in your area. You think you've got it.
Yep.
You think everything's awesome. You've been doing it for 29 years. This is a fun podcast to listen to the two of us, but that doesn't affect me because I've been doing it for so long in this suburb of Cleveland. Yep. I know what I'm doing. Everybody knows who I am. Everybody knew who JCPenney's was.
And look what happened.
Everybody knew. I'm telling you right now, do not underestimate technology. The limo and taxi drivers did. They got caught. The bookstores got caught first. Then the limo and taxi drivers.
Can we just end on one note? I love how you explain, like, how years ago, like, to get in the game, you had to be like a Doritos or a Nabisco.
You know how expensive an office was?
Yes, exactly.
On Main Street?
Yep, I can imagine. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
$5,000 a month in rent.
And
now make a LinkedIn account and you're on Main Street.
Yep. Main
LinkedIn
Street
is Main Street.
for free. For free. So, boom. I couldn't say it better myself. So let's end with that. I want to thank Gary V, Empathy Wines. His team has been awesome. So thank you for the hospitality. I came all the way from South Florida, as you know. So we'll
By the
end
way,
with
big
that.
shout out to you. I'm all about time, because time is the asset that I can't control.
I knew
Yesterday, watching you on email with Alex, confirming this slot, be like, I need to get back in my flat. I was like, I like this guy. I already knew I was going to like
Thank
you.
you.
I
Thank
appreciate
you.
the hustle, and
I'm
I'm
sensitive
glad
to
you're
your
here, and wish you well.
Thank you.
And everybody who's listening, I really hope you got value out of this.